After the Golden State Warriors losing Klay Thompson for his second straight season, last year he was out due to an ACL injury, and this year he is out already due to a torn Achilles. The recent news of James Harden requesting a trade and wanting to go to a title contending team. Many fans have speculated the possibility of James Harden going to the Golden State Warriors. And with this recent news, it's looking like the Golden State Warriors, they were thinking much of the same. I'm going to fill you in on everything you need to know and more in this next segment.
Bryant for the win. Bang! The shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Decide not to use it. Curry way downtown. Bang!
Hey, it's rbthebreakthrough back here again with another video. Definitely have a topic today that is worthy to be covered in detail, because if this were to come to pass, the Golden State Warriors, after losing Klay Thompson, would be back in title contention immediately this year. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a new video. That is by far the best way to support this channel. When you do so, make sure to click all on the notification bell. That way you're notified every single time we go live or drop a new video. And you know, shout out to my real ones that not only do you guys watch my videos, but you actually watch the videos all the way into the end. And today's watch to the end shout out does go to Godzilla Suplex. I always see you supporting, fam. I appreciate you. And lastly, at the end of this video, I do have a special shout out to give all of you guys. We just reached a pretty important milestone. But now that you guys have done that, let's go ahead and get right into this video. Now, with the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, Anthony Davis recently winning the championship, about a month ago, fans were excited for the upcoming new season. At that time, many had the stance that even though the Lakers are a powerhouse, having two of the top 5 players in the entire league, two of the most dominant forces in the league in LeBron and Anthony Davis, many around the basketball world said, well, the one team that will have a true shot at beating these guys will be the Golden State Warriors. And I know you wouldn't necessarily say that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are a better duo than LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but with the Warriors' unique play style, the level of shooting, the attention that you have to give to a Steph Curry, and how that makes so much space for a guy like Klay Thompson, who whenever he's wide open and he catches and shoots, many say that Klay Thompson is the second or third greatest shooter of all time. So NBA fans, including myself, so excited for the new season. Then about a week later, we got news that Klay Thompson, in an off-season workout or off-season pickup run, he tore his Achilles. And ever since, the basketball world has pretty much agreed that the Lakers will steamroll through the Western Conference this year, and they will likely win the championship again next year. Well, ladies and gentlemen, not too fast, because we're getting some news today that could change the entire scope of the Western Conference. We're going to break down how this could affect the Golden State Warriors and how this could immediately make them a title contending team, even against the Lakers. Enter Shams Charania. Now this guy, I mean, I would definitely say that, you know, majority of people say that, you know, Woj is like the official insider guy for the NBA. When you look at Shams, I don't think he's too far off. Much respect to that guy. But recently he was on a podcast that's been launched by Complex called Load Management with Zion, Chops, and Adam. And again, I just detailed exactly what that podcast is, who's in charge of it, all that. Now, for copyright purposes, I'm not going to be able to play you the audio, but Shams specifically said that the Golden State Warriors, they have been in trade talks, they have been making calls to the Houston Rockets, looking for ways to get James Harden to the Golden State Warriors. And here's the really interesting thing about this that could turn this whole situation upside down. Now, when Shams was asked, was this before or after the Klay Thompson signing? And again, Shams, he just let this be known. When you watch the interview, he hesitates a bit. It's almost as if he's not supposed to say. He's like, yeah, I think it was before. He was kind of like stumbling over his words. And you guys know why that's interesting. And as a matter of fact, as you're watching right now, guys, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, because it truly does help the videos get out to the public. So don't forget to like, I appreciate it. But this is really interesting, because if the Warriors were already doing this before before Klay Thompson got injured? Well, if we look at the pieces that the Golden State Warriors would have to offer for an elite star in the league like a James Harden, you have to wonder if Klay Thompson, were they looking to move him? The articles that I've seen on this, they talk about this being a possibility. Now, I'm not saying that they were shopping around Klay Thompson for sure, but in my estimation, the Warriors, they don't really have too many pieces to offer for a James Harden. In my opinion, the Brooklyn Nets, they have way more to offer. You can look at the Warriors' second pick. We already heard a while ago that the Rockets, they're not looking to get any of those big picks this year. I don't think there would be a trade for Draymond Green and a few other pieces for James Harden.
What?
But what would make it really interesting is if the Warriors had Klay Thompson on the table, because in that scenario, then you are getting something that a Brooklyn Net team cannot give you in the trade market. Shams Charania is telling you right out that the Golden State Warriors, they are looking to add James Harden to their roster. Now, present day, the Rockets, they have said that they're willing to go into the season and be quote-unquote uncomfortable. We know that James Harden has requested a trade. We know that he does not want to be there, and he has said himself, reportedly, that he wants to go to a team that will be title contending. Well, if we look at the scope of this year, I mean, there's only about 4 teams that if James Harden went to, they would be a title contender this year. That's the Milwaukee Bucks, the Brooklyn Nets, which was said to be one of his preferred destinations, the Los Angeles Lakers, and then also the Golden State Warriors. How would a James Harden look on the Golden State Warriors? Well, if you look at throughout Steph Curry's career, and again, this is excluding Kevin Durant, because we all know what Kevin Durant was and what he is in the game of basketball. But outside of Kevin Durant, when you look at the career of a Steph Curry, there's not that many times where you can say that he's played with guys, again, outside of Kevin Durant, who can really handle the ball and get their own shot. Outside of KD, the main guy that comes to mind is Monte Ellis. And very early on, the Golden State Warriors, they saw, yeah, it's going to be better if we give the keys to a Steph Curry, and they got rid of Monte Ellis early. If the Warriors were to get James Harden in this situation, Steph Curry would have a guy beside him that would really take a lot of the load off of Steph Curry as far as having to handle the ball the entire game. We know that James Harden loves to handle the ball. A lot of times we see James Harden, he takes about 90 dribbles at the top of the key before making a move. So we know that he loves to handle the ball. But see, the difference is, again, the main guy that he has had in his career, which would be a Kevin Durant, James Harden gives you a different dynamic, because James Harden, he is a playmaker as well. A lot of people, they talk about the scoring ability of a James Harden. They talk about his ability to get to the rim, his three-point shooting. But from whenever he first came in the league with OKC, even up until the Rockets, especially whenever they had, Clint Capella, a guy to throw lobs to and stuff like that, James Harden's playmaking ability is elite. Then when you pair that with the greatness of a Steph Curry, who he doesn't need the ball to be effective, he does not need the ball to have the defense focus on him. A lot of people hate when I say this, but again, I've proven it to you guys already in videos. I've shown you the receipts over the last 3 years. It's fact at this point. Steph Curry is one of the only guys in the league that gets double and triple teamed, even with or without the ball. Steph Curry is one of, if not the best player off of the ball, using screens, backdoors, elevator plays, all this in the league. Not only that, when Steph Curry does catch the ball and maybe he's getting double teamed right after he catches the ball after coming off of a screen, Steph Curry is also a great playmaker. So if James Harden were to come to the Golden State Warriors, you have 2 guys that can get their own shot, they can shoot the lights out, and when called upon, they are also great playmakers. I believe if James Harden does go to the Golden State Warriors, that's a team that can really challenge the Lakers and make them have to keep their head on a swivel for an entire 48-minute game, because James Harden, with the ball, this guy does command double teams at different points in the game. There is no way in hell you're going to be able to double team a James Harden with Steph Curry off the ball. There's just no way. So I believe that a Golden State Warriors offense with a James Harden would really keep all of these teams in the NBA pretty much off balance throughout the course of a game. And like I said, yeah, the Rockets, they have said to this point that they are willing to go into the next season uncomfortable. They're looking to get the best deal for James Harden. Now with the addition of Boogie Cousins, maybe they want to kind of see how that would work. But this is one of the problems that we talk about in the league today. James Harden, one of the reasons that he wants to leave is because he knows, yeah, we may have improved with Boogie Cousins, but you can be teams out here like the Rockets, like the Phoenix Suns, where because so many of the greatest players are all on just a couple of teams, well, quite frankly, even if you do improve, for a lot of these teams, you're only improving to stay mediocre. You're not really going to be contending for an NBA championship, because at the end of the day, the Phoenix Suns, they improved greatly by getting Chris Paul. Got some good draft picks, all that. You got Devin Booker, you got Ayton. You're in the front office, you're like, yeah, we improved, but you're still not going to compete against the Los Angeles Lakers. So I'm sure that's one of the reasons why James Harden, he wants to get out of Houston. And he said specifically he wants to be on a title contending team, because he knows, okay, yeah, we may make improvements here and there. No, it has to be an elite team to actually win a championship, with the current NBA trend of guys just going to a handful of teams, all the best players, all the superstars in the league. So the Rockets basically told James Harden, I mean, hey, we're willing to make you frustrated, at least going into the season, but still watch out for that. Out of frustration, maybe he finds a way to force their hand. And I also got to say this, and I just give a huge round of applause to the Breakthrough crew right now. Now, yeah, I love bringing you guys the NBA news. Definitely has its place, but as I've always told you guys, as a basketball player myself that has played internationally, the videos that I really love bringing you guys the most, and the ones that I enjoy doing the most, are the specific in-depth breakdowns of the gameplay. I've broken down games in NBA history. I've broken down different recent games at the time, and those are videos that you guys always tell me that you enjoy so much. And throughout the last year when I started doing them, I've never been able to get those videos to get the kind of traction that my other videos do get. I think the highest amount of views that I've ever gotten on a breakdown, well, prior to now, was about 50 or 60K views, and that was the Lakers and the Clippers. I still think everybody watching needs to go watch that one breakdown that I did that exposed the deficiencies of a Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and how it was not as much of a Doc Rivers thing as far as the demise with the Clippers. But ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever on this channel, you, the Breakthrough crew, you guys actually got my breakdown of Bronny's game to over 100,000 views. What? And I just got to say, that means a lot. Again, I bring you guys the news, I enjoy it, but as one of the guys on YouTube that actually has experience playing this game at a high enough level, I know that I have so much more than news to offer you guys when it comes to the game of basketball. So I just had to make sure to give you guys a special shout out for that. When the NBA season starts, there's going to be multiple games where I will be doing breakdowns, regardless if the numbers look like that or not. So if you guys can, again, it does mean a lot to me. Continue watching those breakdowns. The breakdowns that I've done already, if you haven't seen them, make sure to go check those out. There's a lot of high school basketball players who have been messaging me, and they let me know that those videos have really helped out their game. And right now you do see two videos on your screen. If you're a basketball purist, you'd like to take a deeper look into the game of basketball, the nuances, you want to make sure to click one of those two videos that you do see right now on your screen. But before you head over there, make sure to leave this video a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a new video. That is by far the best way to support this channel. Click that join button to become an official member of this channel, but I'll see you over there in that next video.